was an alarm clock that I coded using an Arduino, which is basically like the brain of the code, what you code and everything, and then a touch shield, which is you can touch and interact with the board. So I chose this project because I've done a lot of coding in the past. I started in middle school, did a lot of Java, but I never really got to see the real world applications with it. So I saw this project and I was looking through the project book and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. I'll try that. So how it works is, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it actually, there's a clock display which is with the time on the bottom. And then there's a refresh button here, and then there's a test button which tests the speaker, which is a very annoying sound. I'll show you, which will go off in a second. And then there's also a set alarm clock method that you can use to set alarms. So one of the biggest challenges of my project, I had like two actually, was getting the board to work, the Arduino, in the first place. It didn't connect much. It didn't connect to the internet, which is a problem because my project uses the Arduino's time, which it gets from the internet, to be displayed on the board, so on the screen. So that was a big issue. But once I got that, it was a little bit easier from there. And then another big issue, which I learned today, I didn't back up any of my code. So I made a change, I had it all working this morning, and I made like a really small change, and I hadn't backed up any of my code, and kind of just broke my complete project. So I spent a lot of today getting it back together and fixing again, and I have like 4 backups now. So I definitely learned a lot to make sure I back up my code. In the future, I really hope to be able to connect to it connects to the internet, but be able to access my Google Calendar, which will then set alarms on here based on my first appointment in my calendar, which I hope I'll be able to get working in the next few days. And I really enjoyed this program. The instructors are great, and especially Brendan, who helped me, especially today, just get through and fix everything, which is awesome. And I met some really great people. And questions? Oh, are there any questions?
Yeah, how do you back up your code now?
So every time I make like a really big change, or before I do that, I save it and then make a new file and copy and paste my code over. Or you can use GitHub. Also back up code in the cloud.
Is there anything in the LED kind of interface that you can manipulate?
The screen?
Right.
Yeah, you can change like which part. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but you can change which part of the screen is like you can actually touch by just changing the how much of the screen you say you can use. Other than that, not really.
What do the other 2 lines above the time say?
Oh, this is the button right here. So this button will reset the screen and it'll reload the clock in a second. So it just makes sure that the clock is updated. And this is the test button.
If you started over again, what would you do differently?
Back up my code. Yeah, for sure, back up my code.
Anything else?
No, I think I learned a lot going about my project the way I did. Did a lot of Googling, a lot of asking questions to instructors, hoping they would answer, but they didn't. So I'd probably do more Googling first before asking my instructors and getting frustrated when they didn't answer and telling me to Google it. Save some breath.